work hard all your life, connect with thousands of people, and sacrifice your youth chasing opportunities. But if you don't change 3 fundamental perspectives about networking, labor, and personal values, all those efforts will end up in a hopeless journey. In the fierce financial world, there's no place for outdated mindsets or sweet illusions. True success belongs only to those who dare to shatter mental barriers, build intelligent social assets, and persistently pursue long-term value. Prepare yourself for a complete transformation of consciousness, where wealth is no longer an unreachable dream, but a tangible and achievable roadmap. Now, let's embark on a journey to unveil these brutal yet invaluable truths, where every shift in mindset will bring you closer to true financial freedom. On the journey to financial success, a silent enemy constantly blocks our path. Outdated beliefs we unconsciously cling to. They don't reveal themselves immediately, but quietly intertwine with every decision and action we make. Each time you strive to rise, these obsolete beliefs act like chains, shackling your progress. Without the courage to identify and eliminate them, you will forever remain trapped in the cycle of poverty, no matter how hard you work. Effort without strategic thinking is like running tirelessly on a treadmill going nowhere. The irony is that the older people get, the more they cling to old beliefs. The human brain is programmed to favor familiarity because it feels safe. But in a world that changes every second, familiarity becomes a deadly trap. The mindsets that helped you survive yesterday might be the very things killing your opportunities today. The longer you postpone change, the higher the price you will have to pay. Adaptation is no longer optional. It is a matter of survival and thriving. Most people don't realize they are living by outdated patterns until life hits them with devastating blows. They blame society, circumstances, or bad luck, but rarely have the courage to look straight at what truly holds them back: a rotten belief system. That's why people can work diligently for 20 years, yet barely move a few steps forward from their starting line. It's not because they lack ability, but because they lack an updated mental map to navigate the new world. Outdated beliefs are like trying to navigate a bustling 2025 city using a 1920s street map. No matter how hard or fast you try, you will only get more lost. The world is constantly evolving, and only those who update their strategic maps will survive and thrive. If you fail to adapt your mindset, all your efforts will become meaningless journeys, exhausting but fruitless. Updating your internal navigation system is the most vital investment you can make today. Reality has proven that success doesn't belong to the hardest workers, but to the most flexible minds. Winners aren't the ones who run the fastest, but those who pivot at the right moment. They aren't afraid to discard outdated mindsets, even if it means admitting they were wrong. Personal pride is not worth sacrificing your future. Only those brave enough to demolish old paradigms can rebuild themselves into greater, more powerful versions. Every belief we carry is like a stone in our life backpack. Some stones keep us grounded, but most just weigh us down. When your steps become heavier, yet you refuse to lighten the load, don't ask why you can't move faster. Instead of exhausting yourself by carrying unnecessary baggage, dare to examine each stone. Which beliefs are supporting you and which are silently dragging you down? Letting go is not weakness, it's evolution. No one can achieve great success while clinging to outdated mental frameworks. Great artists evolve their styles with the times. Wise investors adjust strategies as markets shift. And you, if you stubbornly cling to old formulas, you are digging your own grave. Perseverance without awareness only creates spinning wheels stuck in mud, never delivering you to your dreamed destination. True growth demands awareness, strategic recalibration, and the bravery to abandon what no longer serves you. Now, if you truly crave transformation, your first step isn't to work harder, but to step back and scrutinize your own thinking. Have the courage to ask painful questions. Which of my beliefs are outdated? Which beliefs are hindering my progress? What must I let go of to soar higher? Do not fear the demolition process. Only when you dare to shatter old patterns can you begin constructing a stronger, broader, and more resilient personal empire. The battlefield for financial freedom lies first and foremost within your own mind. One of the sweetest illusions we were taught is, the more friends you have, the more opportunities you get. But in reality, networking is not a contest to see who knows more people. It is a value exchange game. You could know hundreds of people, attend thousands of parties, yet if the value you bring is zero, you will be nothing more than a fading name forgotten in seconds. True networking is not about quantity. It's about the quality and depth of value you offer. Society operates on the principle of value exchange. People are not willing to invest their time, attention, or resources in you just because you are polite, charming, or hardworking. They invest because you provide real, tangible value. If you bring no value, you will be eliminated from high-quality networks. It's not the world's cruelty, it's the brutal law of survival that no one can escape. Understanding and accepting this rule early gives you a massive advantage over those still living in illusions. The sooner you wake up, the sooner you escape the trap of meaningless networking. Stop wasting time attending every event, buying drinks, sending shallow greetings in hopes someone will remember you. The world is too busy and too ruthless to reserve a seat for those who contribute nothing. If you can't create value, no matter where you show up, you will remain invisible. True networking is not about being everywhere. It's about being irreplaceably valuable somewhere. To survive and thrive in today's world, you must redefine networking. It's not about showing goodwill. It's about forging mutually beneficial links. Whenever you step into a meeting, the question in your mind should be, what value can I offer this person? Not, what can I get from them? Only when you operate from a value-giving mindset will you start building a powerful, resilient network that stands the test of time and crisis. Many people mistakenly believe that befriending famous or successful individuals will somehow rub off success on them. But in reality, high achievers are extremely selective. They value their time and only keep people who offer meaningful contributions. If you don't provide value, you'll be quietly dropped from their orbit without explanation. Proximity to success does not guarantee success. Your value determines whether you stay within those circles or get filtered out almost immediately. The truth is, successful people don't build networks by hopping from party to party or clinging to superficial acquaintances. They invest most of their time building their personal value, honing skills, accumulating knowledge, and letting their value radiate naturally. They don't chase attention. They become the kind of person others seek out. The difference between average people and extraordinary achievers begins there, silently but decisively determining who leads and who follows. To escape the trap of shallow networking, you must completely overhaul your connection strategy. Instead of aiming for numbers, aim for depth. Instead of chasing glamorous contacts, build relationships based on real, mutual value. And instead of trying to please everyone, focus on finding those with whom you can create exponential synergy. True networks are not built on how many people know your name. They are built on how much genuine value you share with a few right people. A truly powerful social network is not built through clinking glasses at cocktail parties. It's built through delivering tangible value repeatedly. That value could come in the form of knowledge, insights, opportunities, introductions, or even fresh perspectives. Every time you deliver real value, you lay another brick on the foundation of a fortress that will protect and elevate you for years to come. Networking based on authentic contribution is the only networking that endures. There will be times when focusing on building your own value instead of chasing networks will feel slow and lonely. But remember, long roads lead to lasting empires. While others are busy scrambling for attention, you are quietly building unshakable foundations. One day, those who ignored you will seek you out. And at that moment, you'll realize every second spent honing your value was worth it. True positioning is never demanded. It's magnetically attracted by the gravity of authentic worth. This world doesn't belong to those who know the most people. It belongs to those whose value is too great to be ignored. Every minute you invest in strengthening your abilities, every opportunity you create for others, every authentic gesture you offer. These are investments compounding silently in your favor. Don't struggle to squeeze into someone else's circle. Build a value so irresistible that your own circle forms around you. That is the essence of sustainable, Elite networking. Many people are disastrously failing in the art of building relationships without even realizing it. They believe that attending as many events and joining as many groups as possible will somehow bring them success. But they forget that networking without a clear purpose is like swimming in the ocean without knowing where the shore is. Each party, each gathering, each aimless conversation only wastes time, drains energy, and erodes self-esteem without creating any sustainable value. Blind networking is nothing but running on a treadmill, going nowhere. Another critical mistake is the failure to build unique personal value. When you are no different from everyone else, when you have no standout traits, you will disappear in the crowd. People don't remember who greeted them yesterday, but they clearly remember who brought them a solution, a fresh perspective, or an opportunity. Without distinct personal value, you're merely a blurry shadow passing through other people's lives, easily forgotten and utterly replaceable. The real key to building meaningful relationships isn't knowing a lot of people. It's creating deep connections with the right people. One deep relationship can open up dozens, even hundreds of new opportunities over time. Meanwhile, hundreds of shallow contacts only exhaust you without yielding real results. Remember, quality always trumps quantity. One strategic ally is more valuable than 100 meaningless acquaintances. In the world of networking, depth beats breadth every single time. To build high-quality relationships, you must completely shift your approach. Instead of trying to impress with charm or flattery, focus on delivering tangible value. That value could be new ideas, critical information, practical support, or simply the right advice at the right moment. People don't bond with you because you're polite. They bond with you because you made a meaningful difference in their lives. Value delivered creates loyalty that pleasantries never will. A strong social network cannot be built with a single meeting. It's the result of continuous nurturing, persistent engagement, and sincere care. You need to stay connected, provide updated value, and genuinely care about others' journeys. Building relationships is a marathon, not a sprint. Those who understand this quietly accumulate invaluable assets that outsiders often cannot see until it's too late. True networking is a patient, intentional cultivation process, not a flashy one-time event. Another common pitfall is the tendency to only seek help without offering anything first. A relationship can only sustain when value flows in both directions. If you approach someone solely when you need something, you are digging a grave for your credibility. Change your mindset completely. Every new connection should be approached with the thought, how can I help this person first? Only when you become a consistent value giver will you earn the right to receive support in return. Today's world is rapidly evolving, and true achievers no longer seek sycophants. They look for collaborators who can solve problems, unlock new opportunities, or broaden their vision. If you want to exist in high-caliber circles, become the kind of person others want to keep around. To do that, you must continuously invest in yourself, sharpening your skills, expanding your knowledge, and growing your strategic value relentlessly. The greater your value, the stronger your network. Treat every relationship like a long-term investment. Don't expect immediate returns after a few interactions. Be patient in sowing seeds, offer value, maintain sincere communication, and assist whenever possible. Over time, those seeds will blossom into relationships that yield enormous opportunities and support when you need them most. The true power of a social network lies not in the number of contacts you have, but in the depth of trust you build with the right ones. There will be moments of disappointment when it seems your relationship-building efforts go unnoticed. But do not despair. In reality, every act of giving, every sincere support you offer, quietly compounds in your social capital. When the time is right, you will find yourself surrounded by allies you cultivated long ago. Trust the process. Every drop of value you sow today is building an invisible fortress that will protect and elevate you in the future. Real networks are grown in silence, then revealed in storms. In today's society, hard work is no longer the golden ticket to success, as many mistakenly believe. Hard work might help you survive, but it is not enough to help you break through. Without a correct strategic direction, all your efforts will be like tirelessly rowing a boat in circles. You will exhaust yourself long before reaching any destination. Do not confuse hard labor with effective action. The modern economy rewards not those who sweat the most, but those who create the greatest value with the smartest strategies. One of the biggest tragedies of the modern generation is glorifying busyness as an achievement. They proudly showcase sleepless nights and weekends spent working, as if exhaustion were a badge of honor. In reality, being busy doesn't equal being effective. Someone could work 16 hours a day and still barely survive, while another, working smartly, creates 100 times more value in half the time. The market does not reward how much you work. It rewards the impact you generate. Hard work does not define greatness. The ability to focus on the right work, in the right way, at the right time creates massive results. Successful people don't try to outwork others by sheer hours. They think strategically. Is this work worth my time and energy? If the answer is no, they cut it mercilessly. Working smart is about magnifying results, not magnifying labor. Efficiency, leverage, and focus beat raw effort every single time. Another dangerous trap of blind hard work is losing your broader vision. When you drown in endless daily tasks, you no longer have time to think strategically, to develop yourself, or to seize new opportunities. You are stuck in survival mode, grinding through days while the world around you advances. By the time you look up, you may find yourself miles behind. Hustle without vision inevitably leads to stagnation, not progress. Successful people do not pride themselves on laboring harder. They pride themselves on results. They understand the real game lies in creating more value within the same or less time. That's why they constantly seek optimization, automation, and leverage. They transform their efforts into multiplying waves, rather than allowing their energy to be foolishly drained. Mastering leverage, not labor, is the true pathway to wealth and freedom. Take a hard look. If hard work alone were the key to wealth, the hardest laborers would be the richest. Yet, reality shows the opposite. Those who toil away physically day and night often struggle the most financially, because they expend their energy without creating differentiated value. Hard work without exponential impact is simply self-inflicted exhaustion. The true economy is not built on sweat alone, but on the ability to create, scale, and sustain value strategically. Your market value is not measured by the hours you work, but by the results you produce. A person working 4 hours a day but generating millions in revenue will always be valued more than one working 16 hours but achieving little. The market does not pay for effort. It pays for impact. If you fail to internalize this truth, you will live forever, trapped in the cycle of self-created unfairness, working yourself to exhaustion without ever reaching true financial freedom. To escape the trap of blind hard work, you must learn to work strategically. Constantly evaluate your work. Is this generating worthwhile results? Can I achieve this goal faster or smarter? Do not hesitate to change your methods, use technology, or seek help. Winners are not the ones who stubbornly plow through old ways. They are the ones who adapt, innovate, and optimize relentlessly. Strategy, not sweat, determines success. Finally, remember that your time is your most precious asset. Every hour wasted on meaningless tasks is an hour you will never get back. Do not let your life be consumed by busy work. Choose wisely. Focus only on work that creates the greatest value. Let every drop of your sweat contribute to a bigger, more meaningful purpose, not to fueling an endless, exhausting cycle of survival. Strategic focus transforms ordinary effort into extraordinary outcomes. The employee mindset has become an invisible golden cage, trapping millions of talented individuals without their awareness. They work hard, receive monthly salaries, and find comfort in small, trickling bonuses, without realizing they are trading their futures for an illusion of security. When you rely solely on a fixed paycheck, you accept a ceiling on your personal growth. Sooner or later, you will hit that ceiling, unable to break through, no matter how much harder you work within it. The essence of being an employee is exchanging time for money. No matter how skilled you are, you only have 24 hours a day. When your resource is limited by time, your income potential is also capped. A highly capable employee may earn more than an average one, but rarely do they achieve breakthrough wealth. They are locked into a linear model. The more they work, the more they earn. But if they stop working, the income stops immediately. In contrast, the truly wealthy operate on an exponential growth model. They build assets, systems, and income streams that continue to generate money even while they sleep. This isn't magic, it's strategic thinking. They use leverage, leveraging money, systems, technology, and people to multiply their personal power. They don't trade sweat for income, they trade value and solutions for scalable profits. Their time works for them, not the other way around. Another subtle trap of the employee mindset is the limited room for advancement. No matter how diligently you work or how talented you are, your salary is constrained by the company's pay structure. You cannot surpass your superiors unless the system itself changes. In reality, much of your effort serves to stabilize the organization's hierarchy rather than reflecting your real-world value. This structural limitation quietly kills ambition and caps your potential. Beyond the income cap, the employee mindset comes bundled with an inherent fear of risk. Once accustomed to the security of a paycheck, many people prioritize job retention over personal growth. They reject new opportunities out of fear of instability. They avoid experimenting with new ventures out of fear of failure. But in a rapidly changing world, clinging to security becomes the greatest risk. Those who resist change will inevitably be left behind by those who embrace it. Another consequence of long-term employee thinking is the shrinking of one's perspective. When you spend too many years just fulfilling assigned tasks, you lose the ability to think independently, innovate, and seize new opportunities. You become comfortable awaiting orders rather than proactively creating solutions. You accept limits rather than challenging them. Eventually, you become like an outdated machine part, easily replaceable by newer, faster alternatives. Only those who think beyond their roles thrive. So, where is the escape route? First, you must entirely redefine your perception of personal value. Instead of seeing yourself as a labor tool, see yourself as a creator of value. Even while employed, behave as if you're running your own small enterprise, yourself. Ask daily, what new value am I creating today? How am I helping the organization grow? If I were the owner, what would I do differently? This mindset opens new strategic horizons that employees trapped in old patterns will never see. Next, build multiple income streams. Never rely solely on one paycheck. Explore investing, freelancing, starting a small business, creating digital products, anything that helps you diversify your financial sources. Multiple income streams not only accelerate your financial progress, but also shield you from economic shocks. True financial masters have multiple flowing taps, not just one vulnerable hose. Diversification transforms financial fragility into financial resilience. Additionally, learn how to apply leverage. Leverage time by outsourcing repetitive tasks. Leverage money by investing wisely. Leverage knowledge by learning from those ahead of you. Leverage networks by strategic connections. When you apply leverage, you are no longer fighting alone. You multiply your power many times over, creating financial acceleration impossible under a traditional employment model. Mastering leverage turns you from a laborer into a strategist of wealth. The employee mindset is not wrong. It's suitable for certain life stages. But if you truly aim for financial freedom, you must dare to step out of that golden cage. Dare to think bigger, act bolder, and build value that transcends a mere salary. When you start seeing yourself as an independent creator of value, the world will treat you differently. No longer bound by limits, you will step into a realm of endless opportunities, free to design the life you truly desire. To escape the cycle of exhausting manual labor, you must undergo a complete transformation. From working with muscles to working with strategic intelligence. Manual labor only helps you survive in the short term. Strategic work helps you thrive in the long run. The new game requires you to constantly ask, is the work I'm doing scalable over time? Does it free me from the limits of time? If the answer is no, prepare to change immediately. The economy now rewards those who leverage thinking, not brute effort. The first step of transformation is finding leverage points in your work. Identify activities that can multiply results without requiring you to double your effort. These could be automation systems, digital products, online courses, e-commerce platforms, or anything that continues to operate after you set it up. Leverage points allow you to duplicate value without proportionally increasing time investment. opening the door to exponential financial growth that labor alone could never achieve. Next, invest seriously in developing high-value skills. Don't waste time perfecting manual tasks that can easily be replaced. Focus on skills that wield massive leverage: leadership, strategy, negotiation, content creation, system building, financial investment. These skills allow you to command and multiply resources instead of being enslaved by them. The one who possesses high-value skills always holds the upper hand in any financial arena, regardless of external circumstances. Another crucial factor is systematizing your personal processes. Instead of repeating tasks manually, design standardized processes. Constantly ask yourself, how can this work operate without my constant involvement? Systematization not only saves time, but creates the foundation for you to scale your impact without exhaustion. Those who control systems control speed, scalability, and ultimately dominate industries. Systems turn effort from linear to exponential. During transformation, you must also redefine your concept of achievement. Stop measuring success by the hours you clock. Measure it by the value you create. Stop boasting about busyness. Start being proud of results. Stop glorifying overtime. Start focusing on building sustainable assets. Strategic work demands clarity, prioritization, and ruthless focus on actions that deliver disproportionate returns. Value creation, not labor, defines winners in the new economy. Most importantly, learn to prioritize work with the highest impact. The 80-20 rule always holds true. 20% of efforts produce 80% of results. Manual workers do everything. Strategic workers ruthlessly select only the highest leverage tasks. Each day ask yourself, if I could accomplish only one thing today that moves me closer to financial freedom, what would it be? That one task deserves absolute focus, while everything else must be eliminated or delegated. You cannot transform from manual labor to strategic work unless you dare to let go of small, meaningless tasks. Fake busyness is the #1 enemy of true success. Dare to delegate, automate, or eliminate anything that does not create significant value. Winners don't do more tasks than others, they do fewer tasks, but each task they choose creates explosive impact. Mastering strategic prioritization turns an ordinary worker into a true architect of wealth. Transforming your way of working is not an option. It is a mandatory requirement if you are serious about financial freedom. Don't let your labor fuel someone else's machine. Become the one who designs systems, not the one crushed by them. Only when you think like a strategist and act like a financial architect can you break free from the shackles of time and soar toward the heights of freedom very few ever reach. Greatness begins with the courage to rethink how you work. One of the most dangerous traps on the path to success is the allure of short-term gains. Small rewards within easy reach, tempting opportunities that promise immediate satisfaction, often lure people into sacrificing their long-term vision. True success never comes from picking up scattered crumbs. It belongs only to those patient enough to sow seeds today for abundant harvests tomorrow. If you only chase short-term wins, you will miss the chance to build lasting financial empires. Long-term vision demands the courage to say no to easy victories. Short-term gains are dangerously seductive because they satisfy immediate gratification. A quick bonus, a fast deal, a small profit, all bring temporary pleasure. But the addiction to short-term emotional highs leads to missing far bigger opportunities. When you spend your time scrambling for pennies, you forfeit the chance to build assets that would have generated wealth exponentially. Every second wasted chasing small wins pushes true financial freedom farther away. Only those who master delayed gratification rise above mediocrity. Sustainable success requires the ability to delay gratification. High achievers are willing to sacrifice immediate victories for greater future rewards. They understand that seeds planted today may not bear fruit tomorrow, but with consistent cultivation, they will eventually yield abundant harvests. The ability to resist short-term temptations is the ultimate test of long-term thinking. Those who pass it become builders of dynasties, not just collectors of fleeting wins. One of the most critical skills you must develop is the ability to see beyond the surface appeal of short-term gains. Always ask, what is the real cost of this immediate reward? Does this choice align with my long-term vision? If the answer is no, walk away without hesitation, no matter how tempting the offer seems. Winners are not those who say yes to everything. Winners are those who say no at the right time to protect their bigger dreams. Strategic no's create legendary yeses. A narrow vision not only makes you miss great opportunities, but also exposes you to traps set by others. Pyramid schemes, get-rich-quick scams, and seductive but shallow offers all prey on the short-sighted. Without a sharpened long-term mindset, you are an easy target. Every time you choose a quick gain without strategic consideration, you're handing over your future to people who see farther than you do. In the marketplace, the long-sighted always win over the short-sighted. To avoid falling into the trap of short-termism, you must build a strategic decision-making system. Every opportunity must pass 3 tests: its long-term impact, its alignment with your overall goals, and its scalability over time. If an opportunity fails even one of these tests, ruthlessly eliminate it. True winners don't just chase shiny objects. They invest only in opportunities that strengthen their strategic position and amplify their financial engine sustainably. The difference between lasting success and repeated failure lies not in talent or luck, but in how people treat time and rewards. Losers waste their energy chasing immediate pleasures. Winners invest their time and effort in strategic seeds. They endure temporary loneliness, silent hard work, and invisible struggles to secure massive victories in the future. They understand that planting today ensures they will harvest tomorrow, while others are still searching for crumbs. Greatness is a marathon, not a sprint. Remember, in the financial game and in life, whoever controls their short-term desires controls their future. Every time you refuse a small, fleeting gain to stay true to your bigger vision, you are fortifying your financial foundation. When you focus on building the whole castle, the small bricks will automatically fall into place. True wealth is not in collecting short-lived wins. It lies in building an empire so solid that temporary fluctuations become irrelevant. Vision, not immediacy, creates legends. In a world where information and opportunities move at lightning speed, social assets, a network of high-value relationships, have become one of the most powerful soft powers. Yet most people approach networking with an outdated mindset, chasing as many connections as possible. They rush into friendships, hoard business cards like stamps, without understanding that real value lies in depth, not volume. One strategic relationship is worth more than 100 superficial ones. True wealth in networking is measured by quality, not quantity. True social assets are not built by chasing opportunities, but by consistently creating value for others. Every time you offer someone valuable information, a strategic introduction, or a real opportunity, you are quietly making deposits into your social trust account. Over time, these deposits compound like interest, unlocking doors that sheer personal effort alone could never open. Networks built on value giving, not taking, endure through time and crisis. To build sustainable social assets, you must abandon the mindset of what can I take and replace it with what can I give. Every genuine relationship starts with selfless giving. When you become a problem solver, an opportunity creator, and a force for good in others' lives, you naturally become a magnet for the highest caliber connections. Giving the right way is the fastest way to earn trust, respect, and strategic alliances that last a lifetime. To deliver value in your network, you must develop your own unique competencies. It could be deep expertise, strong connections, strategic thinking, or even the ability to listen and empathize at a profound level. Without distinct value, you are just another faceless participant in a crowded room. Invest time and energy into sharpening your strengths until you become the person every network wants to keep and expand. Distinctiveness is what turns acquaintances into allies. A golden principle in building social assets is to give value before asking for favors. Never approach someone with a mindset of taking first. Always ask, what can I offer this person first? A small helpful tip, a timely piece of information, or a valuable introduction can plant seeds for relationships that pay dividends for decades. In the world of networking, those who give first build the strongest, most resilient networks that withstand economic, political, and social turbulence. Remember, in relationship building, quality always outweighs quantity. One deep, meaningful relationship can unlock dozens of high-value opportunities. In contrast, hundreds of shallow acquaintances will drain your energy without yielding tangible results. Be ruthlessly selective. Invest your time and energy only in connections that align with your long-term vision. Treat your network as a strategic investment fund. Manage it wisely, prune it diligently, and nurture it with intentional care. In the digital age, social media is a powerful tool for maintaining and expanding your network. But never mistake digital contacts for real relationships. Authentic, high-value connections still require offline engagements, sincere support, and actionable contributions. Use social media as a tool, not a substitute. Real relationships are built through real conversations, real collaborations, and real moments of value exchange. Technology facilitates connection, but human depth cements loyalty. Finally, commit to building social assets with a long-term vision. Do not expect instant rewards. Valuable relationships take time to blossom. Keep giving, keep supporting, keep maintaining a positive presence in your network. When the time comes, these relationships will become the bridges carrying you over obstacles, opening opportunities that money cannot buy. In the end, those who invest patiently in people build empires far more resilient than those built only on cash or skills. Strategic networks are the true currency of enduring success. One of the clearest signs of a truly successful person is their ability to choose their battles wisely. Not every conflict is worth your engagement. Not every injustice deserves your full energy. Strategic individuals understand that their time, energy, and focus are their most precious assets. They do not waste them on meaningless arguments, petty disputes, or battles that yield no strategic advantage. Mastery is knowing where to invest your fight and where to gracefully withdraw without losing sight of the greater war. Letting go does not mean weakness. Letting go of meaningless battles reflects intelligence and strong will. When you refuse to be drawn into small conflicts, you preserve your energy for greater missions. You keep your mind clear and focused, unsullied by negative emotions. You prepare yourself to fully unleash your strength when the real, destiny-shaping battles arise. Strategic restraint is not passive. It is the discipline that sets champions apart from reckless fighters. Conversely, there are moments when you must not back down. When facing pivotal opportunities, decisive turning points, or attacks on your core values, you must fight with everything you have. These battles define your path and shape your long-term success. Real champions know exactly when to retreat and when to go all in. They understand that a lifetime of achievements often comes down to winning a few critical battles fought with full conviction and unwavering focus. Each day, ask yourself, is this battle worth fighting? Will this victory move me closer to my long-term goals? If I win, will the reward be meaningful enough? If the answer is no, walk away, even if your pride feels bruised. If the answer is yes, commit your entire strength and wisdom to the fight. Strategic fighters are not those who win every battle. They are those who win the battles that matter most while conserving their energy for future victories. Finally, remember, your energy is finite. Save it for missions that truly matter, for battles that define your legacy, for projects that transform your life. Do not waste precious life force on meaningless arguments, petty rivalries, or cheap provocations. Life is not about reacting to every noise. It is about managing your power, moving steadily forward, and converting every action into strategic advancement. Success belongs to those who master the art of choosing their battles wisely. Restructuring your personal financial mindset is not simply about learning a new skill or switching to a new job. It is a complete internal revolution, a painful but essential metamorphosis. It demands the destruction of outdated beliefs, the abandonment of false security, and the demolition of limiting patterns that once brought comfort. This transformation is not easy, but if you truly desire financial freedom, it is the only path you cannot afford to avoid. Greatness is reserved for those brave enough to rebuild from the inside out. The first step in this journey is to identify the limiting beliefs that are binding you. Write down all your current beliefs about money, success, and self-worth. Then, rigorously interrogate each one. Does this belief serve my future goals? Is this belief based on truth or unfounded fear? Clarifying and eliminating toxic beliefs is the essential foundation to unlocking your true financial potential. Without reprogramming your internal operating system, no external change can truly last. Next, You must consciously construct a new mindset focused on value creation, leverage, and long-term thinking. Commit that every action you take, every financial decision you make, must serve sustainable value, scalability, and strategic expansion. Train yourself to reject short-term temptations and instead channel your resources into high-impact endeavors. This is how true financial architects operate, not by working harder, but by building smarter, bigger engines for wealth creation. Simultaneously, relentlessly invest in yourself. Every skill you acquire, every meaningful relationship you build, every positive mental habit you cultivate is the highest return investment available. The world can strip away your material possessions, but it can never take away the knowledge, resilience, and capability you have carved into your being. These are the true assets that guarantee your financial independence in any economic storm. Personal development is the most reliable insurance against a volatile world. Finally, understand that restructuring your mindset is not a one-time event. It is a lifelong commitment to growth, challenge, and reinvention. Always question, always update, always evolve. The financial world is constantly shifting, and only those who continuously transform themselves can rise to its new heights. Remember, those who master their minds ultimately master their destinies. Financial freedom begins and ends within. Change your thinking, and you change your world forever. Wealth does not come from blind effort, but from a profound transformation of mindset. Meaningless networking, exhausting labor without strategy, and chasing short-term gains are traps that must be consciously overcome. The true key to success lies in building real value, investing in yourself, developing smart social assets, and persistently pursuing long-term visions. Choosing the right battles, managing energy, and continuously restructuring thinking are inevitable paths to breakthrough success. Start acting today, because the future will not wait for those who delay. Focus your energy only on meaningful endeavors. Believe that when you truly commit to this journey, the dream of financial freedom, once seemingly distant, will become a reachable reality.